Oh, so we're live already. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in to our PIER71 Explore today. I'm Ning, your program manager of PIER71, and that stands for Port Innovation Ecosystem Reimagined at Block 71. And we're actually at PIER71 space at 1 North JCC Launchpad here today. And I hope that everyone's safe and healthy wherever you are. It's really challenging times with the COVID-19 situation. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all our frontliners who are working really hard to keep us safe. So today's session is about this really exceptional material called graphene and its wonderful properties. And the discovery of graphene actually led to a Nobel Prize that was being awarded not very long ago, I believe, right? Yeah. So today's session, we're going to learn about the exceptional properties that graphene has, as well as what are its potential applications in the maritime industry. And so I do have with me from 2D Materials, Dr. Ricardo and Chontia today to tell you all about graphene and what it can do for your business in the maritime industry. But before that, we would like the questions to keep on coming. So if you have questions for us, you can actually type them into the chat room that's available on Zoom here. And for those of you who are streaming in from Facebook, you can also leave a comment in the comment section, the questions in the comment section, and then we'll address them whenever we can. And depending on the amount of time we have left at the end of the session today, we may be able to take your questions live. All right, I think we're going to start this session by introducing our two speakers here today. We have Dr. Ricardo.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon and maybe good morning or good night for someone watching us from the different locations. And please people stay safe. As you can see here, we are still trying to do our parts to contain the situation. And as Ning mentioned, thank you for inviting us to talk a little bit on, about what we are going to what we are doing right now. I am a chemist. I started my career maybe 20 years ago as a material scientist. Then I have been working with many different materials in this time. And graphene, of course, was a very, very big opportunity for us to develop incredible new things. These materials, as we're trying to show you today, is really amazing and can help many different areas as of today, the maritime industry here in Singapore.
And what about you, Chontia?
I am Chontia. I graduated as an electronics engineer, spent some time in electronics, and then I moved on to managing electro-optic systems, and then started to build solutions using textiles for the military as well as the armed forces. And now I'm very excited to be building solutions using graphene because graphene is the next wonder material. And I think graphene is already in our lives. It's just that you might not know it yet, but it's already here. So I'm very excited to be building solutions using graphene to help companies also to incorporate graphene into their products and add value.
You're telling me that this really wonderful material that's thinner, actually much thinner than paper and stronger than steel is already in our everyday life?
Yes, exactly. That's very true. In a lot of products that you can actually buy, consumers that you can actually buy this product, and you might not know that it's already here, but it's already here. For example, everyone has a mobile phone right now, right? So the Huawei P30 Pro uses graphene in its cooling system. So it makes it colder, it's better for the processor when you're playing your games, when you're streaming videos, it gets cooler, it performs better as well. It's in there. You might not know it, but it's in there.
All right. I just want to say that we're not doing any advertisements for any mobile phones out there, but we're just here to explore what graphene has been doing, all the good work that graphene has been doing in our everyday lives. But we will be focusing on the maritime industry a little bit more. But before that, I think everyone's really curious about how did someone, actually I don't remember who the Nobel Prize winners are, maybe you can tell us who they are, and how did they actually discover this material in the first place?
Yeah, so this is a very, very interesting story. These two guys, this was the Russian scientists that work in the UK. They used just scotch tape and a pencil to win the Nobel Prize. In other words, they used the scotch tape to peel off the graphene from the graphite crystal, and they show that the amazing properties that graphene has, completely different from the three-dimensional material, like the graphite, for example. And other system. Okay, sorry. And one of the good thing right now that one of these Russian scientists, Professor Kostya Novozilov, now is in Singapore. He's a full-time professor at NUS right now, and also is one of the advisor of our company.
I see. Well, that's really interesting. So you're saying that graphene was discovered when someone was playing around with his pencil.
Yes.
So yeah, you heard me right. Graphene is actually, I mean, not to say it was produced from the pencil lead, but then that's how it was discovered, right?
Yes.
So the pencil lead is called graphite.
Yeah.
But and what exactly is graphene then?
If you can imagine that graphite is a deck of cards, you know, playing cards.
Yeah.
You have a deck of cards. If you take one single card, this is graphene. And the property of the deck of cards is completely different than the property of a single card.
I see. Okay. Well,
And it's stronger than steel and it's transparent.
Right.
Just to give a few examples.
The graphite is a deck of cards.
Yeah.
And graphene is just maybe one layer.
One layer, atom thick, made only of carbon atoms.
And what kind of element is that? It's carbon, right?
It's carbon. It's the same as the diamond, gold, or graphite. It's another form of carbon. There is a layered material called two-dimension because the thickness is only one atom thick, and the dimension can vary up to meters nowadays.
But I guess that is you're talking about the purest form of graphene.
Yeah.
But by industry standards or by some kind of standards, it may not be just one single layer, but up to a couple of layers, I suppose.
You're right. Commercially today, there is this market is a new market that is growing and was started maybe like 5 years back, and there is still a little bit blur on what is the definition of graphene. The ISO that make the standards, they have stated that the graphene is any material that has 10 layers or less of these carbon atoms, but still many standards need to be right. Actually, I am the Singaporean representative in the ISO committee, which we discuss twice a year the creation of new graphene standards. There are more than 30 new standards on the pipeline concerning not only the production of graphene, but also the application of graphene into batteries, into composite, into coatings, into marine industry, into aerospace, and so on.
All right, and you guys here are from 2D Materials. In short, I'm just going to call you guys from 2DM. And so what are you guys doing with graphene as a company?
Yeah, our company, if I may tell a little bit about our story, we started our company inside the National University of Singapore in 2015. But at that time, the market was not ready. So our actual operation is starting in 2017. And at that point, we licensed this incredible technology that we have developed to produce in a cost-effective way, the graphene. And we installed our first pilot plant in the Science Park here in Singapore in 2017. And now we are moving to a new facility, our first commercial scale plant in the Tuas.
Okay, I hope you will bring us a tour to your production facility later.
Of course.
All right. So for those of you who are online, you can hear that this is also an invitation.
Yeah.
If the situation with COVID-19 improves, and I really hope that it will, then maybe you can conduct a tour to explore what wonderful things that you guys are doing with graphene. Yeah. All right. And I believe that Ricardo, you're going to tell us about how graphene has been proven to be useful in some other industries before we go into maritime.
Yes. As Fu mentioned, the graphene is already on the market. There are many uses for graphene, as he mentioned, cell phones, but also in jackets, golf clubs, golf balls, bikes, helmets, shoes. But graphene can do much more than that. Graphene can change many materials when you add graphene to it. Just to give an example, a plastic that everybody knows is an insulated material, electric insulated material. If you add a little bit of graphene to it, you convert that material to an electrically conductive material, meaning that I can transform any plastic part in potentially a sensor or an antenna or a device that can signal the environment to our phone, to our cell phone.
Maybe I can talk a little bit about graphene in shoes, for example. How you can actually buy these shoes in Singapore. It's called Innovate. We're not promoting the brand, but they are the first users of graphene in shoes. The analogy that they like to use is, you imagine F1. F1 uses different sets of tires for different road conditions. You have the wet conditions, they need wet tires, dry conditions, they use dry tires. The reason for using different sets of tires is because you use the wet tires, you have maximum grip, but it doesn't last. So when you add graphene into the rubber mixture, it changes things. You are making the wet tires last longer, so basically you're improving grip. At the same time, you're improving durability as well. That's what you're trying to do when you add graphene into rubber. It makes things more durable, stronger, it lasts longer. So basically that's the kind of properties that you improve when you add graphene into it.
Does adding graphene into some other materials also give it like super new properties that would not have been seen in its original form? Like for example, you were saying that if you add graphene to plastic, it gives it a totally new, different properties. So what are the key properties that people are more excited about?
Yeah, I think this is what graphene can outstand compared to other materials. Is the electrical conductivity. It's more conductive than copper, for example. It's more thermally conductive, conducts heat better than any kind of metal. And if you have a very few layers, it is also transparent. It's a material that potentially can be transparent, conduct heat, and conduct electricity.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is why everybody got excited about this material. Actually, Ford has announced recently that they will adopt 5 parts of the Lincoln, Mustang, and F-150 in their cars. It just means that it's a mass production already of graphene parts. It's a plastic part containing graphene. For 2 reasons, for many reasons, but the most important is the weight reduction. So when you increase mechanical strength, you make the part lighter, and also sound absorption. Then make the cars work like a more silent.
I mean, all these sound really great. Like the properties are amazing when you add graphene, but does it actually break up the prices? I mean, when you make something so wonderful, right? The next thing I tell you that it's going to cost 10 times more. But is this the case? I mean, that's not what we want, right?
Yeah. I think this is the time where this is where 2DM comes in, because with the technology that we have, the commercialization of the technologies, graphene prices has been very high in the past years because it's a new material, it's produced in a very small scale. It's just expensive, right? But with this new production technology that we have, this new technique that we have, we are able to produce graphene in a more competitive pricing. And that allows this new properties to be included into products at a more affordable pricing. It's not a case where, it's in a lab scale, only very expensive, very top tier products can use it. Now with the new technology that 2DM has, you are able to incorporate graphene into really everyday products, and the price increase is maybe negligible in some cases.
Yeah.
So that's the value that you're bringing to people,
Exactly.
to all the businesses that are looking to incorporate graphene into their
Exactly,
properties.
that's correct.
I can show some slides.
Yeah, all right. I think
To
you've got
make an
something to show.
example of that, of what you just said. We're trying to explain why.
Mm-hmm. All right. The slide from.
Yeah, I think I can start. The most important part is to know that the graphene properties, amazing properties, can only appear when you have below 10 layers. So this is important to say that because when you produce graphene, you cannot produce only one layer or two layers separately. We produce as a collection of this material. So your goal must be to produce below 10 layers so you maximize this performance. What we have discovered together with Professor Antonio Castroneto in the Center of Advanced 2D Materials inside the US was a process that we can produce in a very high yield graphene with less than 10 layers. Meaning that if we start with 1 kg of graphene, we can come out with 700 grams, 1 kg of graphite, we end up with 700 grams of graphene. Our competitors, normally, they can do very few percentage, 1%, 2%. This is why graphene is very expensive, was very expensive in the market previously. And also, we can produce this material with this high yield, high quality, that it brings to our customer a better balance between performance and cost. So they need to add more, add less graphene, get the best performance of it.
Right.
And I think in this sense, we can be much more competitive. So, and we can enable many applications, not only the very high end, like aerospace, but also applications like coatings for the marine.
So I guess, as in you were just sharing just now that by the standards that were being set, it's less than 10 layers of graphene and it's considered as graphene.
Yeah.
So what you're showing on this slide is kind of like, I mean, for me, I would imagine it as something, I would liken it to like petroleum being undergoing fractional distillation. And then, so it's got different grades of products and use it for different reasons.
Yes.
So there's a whole range of graphene that we would then be using for different industries and for different purposes. And of course, the pure it is, which is the less layers it's got, then I guess it would command a higher price. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, actually, we have at the moment a few grades of graphene that basically we call the XP graphene. It's the extra performance graphene. You're right. It's the fewer layers. And the general purpose graphene, that is a graphene that has more layers, but of course the price is cheaper, so enable different applications in the market.
Okay. So can we go on to? I mean, I'm sure that our audiences are actually more keen to find out how graphene can be used in the maritime industry. So maybe you can tell us what one potential application there is.
Just one. Just to show this picture. This picture is very emblematic for us. This is our new facility in Tuas. You can see from the right side to the left, our Vice President of Manufacturing, Mr. CF. Myself in the blue shirt to the front is our CEO, Patrick. And hiding back more or less in the middle is Professor Kostya Novoselov, the Nobel laureate that also visit us together with National Research Foundation of Singapore and some companies to visit our new facilities. In our new facility in Tuas, we are reaching 12 tons of capacity per annum. This is not anymore a pilot scale. This is really a commercial scale. And this is why I mentioned that we could bring the price down because because of the economics of scale, we can produce more efficiently, lower cost, and we can offer to our customers a better price for us.
In short, you're basically saying that you guys are ready to go, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then, are you guys ready to go into maritime?
Yes, we
explore that?
Just to give an example in this slide, I think this is a very interesting example. It's one of the largest paints company here in Singapore. It's a Japanese company, but it's Singapore owned, probably, right? At the moment. What they did, they add our graphene to their standard anti-corrosive coating that they use to paint the hull of the ship. They use a three-layer structure for the coating, and they add graphene only to one layer,
Okay.
the active layer, the one that contains zinc.
Right.
What they could see is that when they add a graphene from the competitors, from the market, they got 13% increase in the performance in the salt spray test. That relates to the lifespan of the coating when it's applied, right? But when they try our graphene, especially because of we can produce in a very stable way, few layers and high quality, they add only 0.7%, and they got 100% increase in the salt spray tests. Unfortunately, we cannot disclose the company nor the result itself. We can only talk about percentage because of the confidentiality. But they are very excited, basically because they can offer a product to the ship owner or the shipbuilder that can last 7 years according to their projections, but also brought some side effects. Can you next slide? Just press. Oh, thank you. And graphene brought some very, very interesting, we call it beneficial side effects. That is the anti-fouling effect. Fouling is something that is very critical to the maritime industry because the barnacles attached to the hull can increase up to 9-10% of the fuel consumption because they increase the drag resistance of the ship. So, and graphene plays a very important role in reducing the fouling and because the consequence of drag resistance. And this can potentially combine with the lifespan and this reduction in the fouling, save roughly 6 million over 5 years for every ship. You know that this industry right now, there is about 50,000 ships around the world right now circulating, and there are very limited spots to repaint a ship. And if you can last longer and operate with a less fouling, this gives a very good competitive advantage to the companies that operate there.
So I guess in this aspect, you've proven that with graphene and with the PDMs produced graphene, the performance has far surpassed competitors as well as existing solutions, right?
Yes.
So are there any other properties that ship owners and the likes should be excited about if they were to add graphene, use coatings with graphene added into it?
I think this is the anti-corrosion. This is the main problem to this industry, but also there's another problem that graphene can change. For example, if you have a heat exchangers, some ships they have heat exchangers, and if you coat with graphene, if you coat with a normal coating, normally you lose efficiency of the heat exchanger. If you use a graphene coating to it, you get the same level of protection for corrosion, or maybe even better, and you don't lose efficiency because graphene can make the thermal exchange even faster. And also there is a very important area that is defense. If we move along of coatings to composites, to have ballistics composites for defense application, I think who can describe a little bit better?
Thank you. So for ballistic protection for ships, what you're looking at right now currently is a mixture of composites, ceramics, and some metallic components. So it's a mixture of these. When you add graphene into the composite layer, what you're trying to achieve is to reduce the ceramic part and the metallic part. And when you do that, that gives you a weight reduction. And when you get a weight reduction, basically you use less fuel, you can go faster. So there's a lot of benefits that come with weight reduction in terms of ballistic protection. And for ballistic protection, we are also working on, with a partner, of course, ballistic protection in composites So preliminary testing has shown that when you add graphene into polymers, composites, there is a very good effect where it gives you a higher level of protection against ballistics, against common rounds like 7.62, 5.56. That's already proven in the labs. What we're trying to do right now is to develop it even further to see what other polymers could encounter, and also to get more test data out of it. So ballistic protection is one, heat exchanger is one. There's another one, maybe that's more for the luxury sector. That's where you have carbon fiber bolts. And what you can do with carbon fiber bolts is that, you know, the epoxy resin that you have, you can actually add graphene into the resin. You get stronger hulls. You can reduce the amount of resin you use. Again, it's a lot of benefits in terms of mechanical strength, lower weight. That's what you get.
So it is now gonna make things
Lighter, yes.
lighter, stronger, and it has anti-fouling effects.
Yes.
That sounds like too good to you.
Yes, I guess this is why the guys won the Nobel Prize, because the potential are huge.
Okay.
But we need to be very active to make all these opportunities become reality. This is why we're working very hard. Yes. The last few years, this is to bring new solutions to all markets.
Then my next question is, what does it take to bring this material that's so wonderful to the maritime industry? What do you need? What kind of stakeholders, what kind of buy-in do you need? So I think we're reaching out to people right here.
So we're looking at people who are providing solutions to the vessel owners. We're also looking at vessel owners themselves to be convinced that, hey, look, this is something I want to try. And then to do that, basically, what you need is really, you need to be committed, right, in terms of the resources and the manpower to explore. Because what we offer on 2EM side, we offer graphene at a very competitive rate. Other than that, we offer technical advice as well. He's here, Professor Antonio is here, so they have the expertise into adding graphene into the various polymers, the various matrix. This is what we can offer. So companies who are looking to really add graphene into their products, you just need to be committed to say, look, I want to try this. I'm really committed to adding graphene in, and then let's start. We will be able to help you move along, add graphene into it. Very often, what we find, sometimes is that because some partners would work halfway and then they kind of lose interest, that stops the development somewhat. But if you're committed, I think it's just a matter of time. It's a pretty quick one as well.
So you're here looking for partners.
So we are here looking for partners who are looking to develop into the marine coatings. Also marine batteries as well, because graphene has got very good electrical conductivity. So for marine batteries, whether it is for unmanned vessels or it's for your ship vessels, if you are into marine batteries, it's another area we're interested to work in. Also for composites for structural parts, because graphene, when you add it into the various composites, it increases mechanical properties, right? So we want to really look for people who are interested in also developing this product.
Actually, I remember PIER71 Smart Corp Challenge. For those of you who don't know Smart Corp Challenge, it's an annual challenge that we take on, and then we work with corporates who offer up prompt statements that they are willing to work with startups to co-produce some kind of a solution. So one of the prompt statements last year is actually anti-fouling. So for companies like this that have got this kind of prompt statements, and they're more than happy to work with startups, right? So can you explain briefly, share with them roughly how would you like them to work with you, or what kind of values are you going to offer in this kind of projects? So just to help them understand a little bit what it takes and what can they achieve out of it. Let's say a small pilot of something. That's just one example, and then let's just hope that takes them their interest.
Yeah, I think one important thing is we are looking since this market is starting. It's a new field of business. We are generating new materials that can potentially change many different applications. We need partners to be the pioneers that there. As automotive industry Ford did, we want partners to pioneer with us this new application. And the way we see it is we can start in a very, very simple approach, a phased approach. We do pilot trials, we generate data together, we achieve milestones, then increase to large tests. We can paint half of the vessel, do a few tests, and to go into a full production of a new product. This is the approach that we are taking, a phased approach to reduce the risk of everybody, but you need very excited partners to generate very new applications and to help us to be the pioneers in this field as well.
All right, actually, at this moment, I'd like to ask, are there any questions that people raise? Maybe we'll just open up. I'm actually currently, we unmuted every participant. So now, it has always been us talking, so maybe we just unmute everyone and see whether there are any questions so far. So if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand virtually or just speak out loud right now. We can hear you. Because I thought I heard someone talking just now. Oh, that was you. Okay. All right. So, but in any case, if you have any questions after this session, you can always email it to us. That's enquiries@PIER71.sg. And then we'll also leave the contact details of our two speakers after we do a post-event wrap-up on LinkedIn, on Facebook, where we are actually hosting the session here today. And then you can always get in touch if you want more information, or if you're interested in hop on to into a pilot project with them. I think they're more than happy to take that on as well. Yeah, but just as a one last question I have. So you guys being a startup, what kind of strategy do you have moving forward, or any kind of milestone for you to share?
Yeah, to answer your question, I think this is a startup journey. For me, I was a professor in the university before. It's a completely change in the mindset you have. We took some time to learn how to translate from one word to the other. And but after we realized what to do, was very clear for us. We need to first to have a very strong team with us. This is why we have brought many different people with different set of skills.
Including a Nobel laureate as your advisor.
Yes, including Professor Nobel
laureate.
Yes. And also who, and also CF, our plant manager, our CEO Patrick, they are very experienced in the business world, in building manufacturing plants. We need to set up a team that is. I think that the first part is the team. The second part is to find the right investor. Find the right investor is something that for us took some time. In the year of 2017 and 18, we thought maybe more than 40, maybe 50 potential investors. And because we didn't know more what was the portrait of the investor we want that time. And it's very important to you to know what type of investor, and we decided to move on with a corporate investor. That is a company that has the same mindset, innovative, and so on. And November last year, we closed an investment round, a seed round with a company called CBMM. It's a mining company that produces a transition metal called niobium. This niobium is an additive that you add to steel to make steel stronger, lighter, and so on. And they have a very similar story as we have. They identify this mine, they have this niobium, and they didn't know what to do with this. And they developed the market, developed the applications, and create a $1 billion business out of it in the last 60 years. So we find that the expertise they have could contribute, but not only the money they give, but also the smart part of the money that bringing us networking, know-how, engineering support, strategic support, for us to grow and follow the same path. Because our strategy right now, we need to validate two hypotheses. We need to produce graphene in a very high quality with constancy. The properties must be the same, exactly the same property, in a very efficient way that we can offer good price for our customer. And the second part is to generate business of it. So if we can balance these two, as I mentioned before, we go on a phased approach. So the support of CBMM has been very important to us, is to find the right people and the right partners.
So I guess right now you're looking for corporate partners. I mean, customers, right?
Yeah,
Test out more.
we want anyone, partners, even investors. We are open to talk, but our main goal is to bring this new material to life, to generate new applications that can benefit our clients. And if we make our clients make more money, we can make more money also. This is our mindset.
Okay, we actually have 3 questions from the audience. The first one is from Charles. Any applications for the concrete and construction industry or maritime structures, jetties, ports?
This is a good question, actually.
Actually, it's a very good
question.
Giving you guys more ideas on where graphene can be applied.
So we actually have a development working, not in Singapore, but it's in UK right now, working with graphene mixed in with concrete. So what it does is it really strengthens up the concrete. And in construction, you need all the steel reinforcements and all that stuff. So I think what graphene does in concrete is really to make it stronger and probably less of this steel reinforcement. The challenge right now is really to find the cost-benefit ratio, to get the correct cost-benefit ratio, because concrete itself is not very costly. If you add graphene into it, it potentially goes up. So what we're trying to do with that, the performance is proven. What we're trying to do is find a good cost-benefit ratio for concrete. So I think that's something to be explored, and also it depends on really how much, in the overall picture, how much steel you want to reduce and stuff like that.
It's always finding that equilibrium.
Correct.
Right? So I think the short answer is that yes, a lot of things can be done in the construction industry, with applications in maritime as well for jetties and ports.
Yes.
It's just that more work has started and more work needs to be done, right?
Exactly.
So if you guys have any great news or results to share with us, feel free to. We'll share with our community as well. And the next one is actually a question that's quite, I would say, practical. So the question from Carly is, how long until this could be commercially produced in enough quantities to coat every ship in the world fleet?
Oh man.
Actually, I think the limit is not really the number of ships. You would really wish to put this
Yes,
definitely. Yeah, with your production facilities that can actually produce 12 tons a year.
12 tons a year. And that's very important to point out that we add very little graphene to the port.
Just 1%
1% and below. So if we multiply that, we can talk about maybe hundreds of tons of, maybe thousands of tons of coating. So I guess that with the current capacity, if we use all our graphene, we can take quite a lot of ships. Maybe not the whole fleet, but maybe 1/3 of it, I suppose.
And I think the other thing is really not just looking at ships per se. The other one is really looking at rigs that's really out there, like oil exploration rigs. They also have the same problems with erosion and fouling. So that is the other area that some of our partners who are doing the coatings, they're actually looking at not just ships, platforms as well.
So you're not stopping at ship. There's also all rigs that you can use. I guess the answer to this question is that. Well, we can't say that we're able to coat every single ship in the world fleet, but then we can definitely coat substantial amount of it because they've ramped up production capacity with their new facility in Tuas, right? That's 12 tons of high quality graphene a year, right? And I guess the last one is actually something that's very technical. It's very geeky, but it's a great question from Dale. Has the technology advanced to where graphene products can be produced in sheets and then folded or molded?
Shapes.
Yeah.
What is the last word there?
Possibly, I think.
Okay. if we can separate graphene into two technologies. As if you Google graphene, you're going to see that there are two main forms of graphene can be produced. One is what you call a flake. It is a powder.
Like snowflakes?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a powder.
I'm catching on really quickly.
Yeah. And the other one is as a film. It's a different approach to produce the film.
Oh, film. Okay.
The powder we produce from graphite, we peel off the layers and we collect the layers and we have the powder. The film is grown from the gas. We have a metal substrate like copper and you put some gas like methane, propane, and then you grow a thin film of carbon, a graphene layer on top of that. They call it CVD type of graphene. This is meant more to electronics, to make processors, memory. It's not, this is a different type of material. Graphene is a different type of this type of material, this is the one that Dale is asking. This is already in the commercial scale. Few companies can produce that, and they are doing foldable, transparent screens. This is already in the market. Right. If you are talking about our graphene, our flake graphene, we can produce a sheet. We add the graphene, for example, to a plastic, and we make this plastic as a very thin film, the same as any food wrap. We can make that kind of film as a plastic containing graphene. Then you can mold and give any shape you want. Yeah, we can basically produce it as the same you can produce as plastics. You can produce a graphene composite in that shape.
Okay, I guess the short answer is also yes.
Yes.
And we've got one from Buckley. Are you in conversations with shipyards and dry dock facilities to build their capabilities for working with installing and retrofitting ships with graphene components? Have you guys started a conversation? If not, I guess it's a shout out to all those people. Please come and talk to us. We are more than happy to hold conversations. We can actually host your meetings here at PIER71 as well if you wish. Yeah.
I think for shipyards and dry docks, probably not yet. What we do a lot of with is with the coating providers. That's a lot of them. Also, we are trying to work with ship owners as well, but because of the COVID-19 situation, that kind of puts a little bit of a pause button on that. Yeah, but it's a lot of more talking about coatings, paints. So not so much on shipyards and dry docks. We welcome all conversations with these guys. Yeah.
Yes. I think if Berkeley has someone to recommend from this shipyards and dry dock facilities, feel free to email us. Right, we'll be happy for you to make the connections and then we will make it happen for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason has a question. What is the packaging of the product?
I guess he wants to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm also very curious.
Yeah, hi Jason. Currently we are packing, it depends on the quantity of course. Yeah. If you need the small samples, we supply in small bottles. 100 grams, 500 grams. If you need more, it's drums.
I see. I wish I had a foresight asking them to bring some samples.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll post a photograph of it next time.
Sure,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So supply as drums.
So, but the other thing is that when you're working with composite providers as well, we also have the possibility of providing it as master batches. Same with coatings, you might not want to work with powders. We also provide it as a slurry form, so it's like a liquid form where when the customers, when they receive it, they can immediately use that. They don't need to handle the powder. They can actually use master batches of slurries and put them into their own different formulations.
So it's like a ready mix up.
Ready mix, and then they can just further dilute it to what they need. Yeah.
Just like instant coffee.
Wow. Instant coffee, man. Okay. All right. I think that's the very last question we have from our. One more for Charles.
Oh yes.
Applications in the water purification industry. Any work on it? More ideas. We love this, guys. Keep it coming.
Yeah. Water purification we probably never done it.
Not yet, is it?
Not yet. We've done a purification.
To the end,
yes.
Yeah, we never done that before.
Yeah.
But we have worked when I was in the university. This is a very important topic in the graphene area because graphene is a very, since it's a layer of carbon and it's very dense, no material can pass through. So if you make tiny holes, that you can only let the water pass through and all the salt can be retained. So Professor André Gein, the other guy who won the Nobel Prize, they have a very strong work on that. Professor Novozalov here in Singapore as well. This is a very important field for graphene, but this is in the very beginning. There are many researchers working on specifically on the desalination first, and then the water purification for industrial water and so on. And the Singaporean government has supported this for many years already. But as to the end, this is on our radar, but this is a long shot for 5 years, maybe 10 years time frame. We keep a close eye on it, but we are not actively doing anything on it.
All right. Okay. All right. I think that's the very last question we have from everyone. So thank you very much for joining us today. I would like to leave you with my contact details as well as schools. So can we just pull up the presentation slide and we type in inquiries at PIER71.sg. If you have any other suggestions or questions for us, you can actually send it in to this email address. I'll be more than happy to make the connections to both our speakers here today. And once again, our session here will be reposted on Facebook, on LinkedIn. So if you or your colleague, some of the colleagues who may have been interested, but then they unfortunately missed the session, they can still review the sessions again. Yeah. So let's just have the email address typed out if you can. Is it? Are you able to? Or okay. Simply it's just inquiries at PIER71.sg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't, please follow us on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We are also on Instagram, as well as Twitter. And YouTube. So that's where we post our videos. Yeah. All right. And that's our instruction from our marketing colleague. All right. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys.
Stay safe, stay healthy. And we'll see you again